When I bought my little slice of lakeside heaven 15 years ago, it was nothing fancy. Just a rundown cabin, a patch of weedy shoreline, and a rickety old dock. I spent years fixing it up on weekends. Hauled in stone for a proper retaining wall, built a sturdy dock, cleared the brush. By the time I retired, it was the prettiest stretch of Lake Cedar Ridge, and mine alone. Then came the Willow Pines HOA. A developer bought the empty farmland next door and slapped up 60 pastel houses, each with a postage stamp backyard and big promises of exclusive lake access. Only problem? Their lot stopped 20 feet from the waterline, and that 20 feet was my land. At first, I didn't mind the families walking down now and then. I'd wave, say hi to the kids. But then came Karen Ferguson, self-declared queen of Willow Pines and HOA president for life. Karen decided that my lakefront was community property. One day, I came home from fishing to find a brand new Willow Pines residence only sign nailed to a tree by my dock. I tore it down. Next week, there was a shiny HOA bench bolted into my retaining wall. I removed that too. Then they got bold. I woke up one morning to find a crew out there with a bobcat scraping out a gravel path down to my water. They said Karen told them the HOA had secured an easement. No paperwork, no permit, just Karen's big mouth and bigger attitude. I called the sheriff, who told them to pack up and get off my property. But Karen didn't care. She started handing out dock keys to HOA families, telling them they could swim, fish, picnic, whatever. I'd come home to find strangers barbecuing on my lawn. They'd glare at me like I was the trespasser. So, I did what any stubborn old coot with a nail gun and free weekends would do. I built a fence. A big fence. 10 feet high, solid cedar planks right along my surveyed boundary line, which just so happened to run straight down to the lake and box off every inch of shoreline the HOA thought they'd stolen. And because subtlety ain't my style, I broke out the biggest paintbrush I could find. In bold black letters, facing the HOA side, I painted, HOA land grab, private property, keep out. When the neighbors saw it, half of them laughed. The other half stormed off to Karen's porch to complain. She came pounding on my door that evening, red-faced and screeching that I was ruining the community aesthetic. I handed her a copy of my deed. She threatened to sue. I told her she'd lose. The county assessor confirmed the property lines matched my fence exactly. Then I told her if she stepped foot on my lawn again, I'd have her cited for trespassing. A week later, Karen had the gall to show up with a TV crew from the local news, trying to paint me as some cranky recluse stealing public lake access. The reporter asked me for a comment. I pointed at the big painted words on the fence and said, "That's my comment." Turns out, not all her neighbors liked the truth getting aired. When folks realized she'd promised them lake access she didn't legally own, the HOA board held an emergency meeting. Next thing I knew, Karen stepped down for personal reasons. I still have my cabin, my dock, and my quiet mornings on the water. No strangers grilling burgers on my lawn anymore. And that fence? Still up, still bold, still painted. Sometimes I freshen up the letters just to remind the new board what happens when they try to mess with the wrong lakeside owner.